Hi, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we're going to work on a simple necklace and earring set using the JJB Beads Mini Mix Marscapone. This little bottle was chock full. I have taken out what I need to make both the earrings and the necklace, and let's get turned down and we'll look at stuff. Okay, this is what we're going to be using. We need some 16 gauge wire. I always tell folks when you're going to put beads onto wire to make sure that you test them to make sure they will fit. I have done so. The 16 is going to work. I've got some chain, some little jump rings, 3 ball head pins, 1 for the earrings, 1 for the necklace, a magnetic clasp with some more jump rings, and a piece of chain reaction. This chain reaction is number 35, and of course this is from JJB Beads. And I have chosen these beads out from my Mascarpone Mini Mix. So we'll put this aside and we'll get started working on our necklace first and then our earrings. Or we could do the earrings first and the necklace. It doesn't matter which way we go about it. Oh, I forgot to get ear wires, so we will need to get those as well. But the first thing we're going to need is to get us a piece of our 16 gauge wire out and then straighten it some. We don't need to straighten it entirely because we're going to probably put a small curve in it anyway. Now, the first thing we need to do is gauge how much wire we need. I probably do not need as much as I am going to get out because it doesn't have a lot of beads on the necklace itself. This one is going to be in the middle. We've got a couple bicones in here. There they are. We can use all the crystal rondelles. And 2 of these little guys. So that's for the necklace. This is for the drop on the necklace. And then these are the earrings. You know what? Let's do the earrings and the drop, and then we can make the drop first. That's the simplest thing we're going to be doing, so we might as well do that. Sorry for bumping the camera there. So anyway, these are just going to go onto the ball head pins. These are 3-inch. I like the 3-inch because I like to have the room to work. So we have the teardrop and its cap, then the little white rondelle, crystal spacer, and this really cool crystal, I call it a shamrock, but it's not really. But anyway, so they're going to go like that. And we'll get all 3 made. They're all going to be the same. That way the earring will match the drop in your necklace. Oh, baby, go on there. And there we go. All 3 of those pieces have been made. Now we'll just bend them up, bend their wrapped loop, and then put the 1 pair on earring wires, and then the other one will sit aside for when we're putting it in the necklace. Also grabbed a couple of ear wires. I use lever back because I think they're the most secure, since when they go on and then clip back up, they make a trap your ear inside there. So in order to do these, we need to get our, this one seems a little crooked. get our pliers and do our bend. We might as well do all 3 bends at the same time here. And then I'm going to get my bell making pliers. And I use my stepped bell making pliers, and I use the smallest one. And then just put that in, wrap our wire around, drop it over, bring it the rest of the way, and then check to make sure it's in the shape you want it. Now, this first one, we'll just have it be the one for the necklace. And then the next ones we'll put our ear wires in. So up and around we go. Come on, no coming loose before I've got you finished. And there's our last wrap. Now we'll trim that. And tuck it in. And now we'll put this one on the necklace using a jump ring onto the chain when we decide exactly how long we want our chain to be. So we'll put that aside, and then we'll do these other 2. And since we're going to make these into earrings, we'll put the ear wires on before we finish our wraps up. So first things is, in it goes, around it goes, drop your pliers, finish coming around, make sure you have the shape you want. Now take your ear wire and just slide it up into that slot till it clicks in place. And then we will get our pliers back out again. And come on, baby, drop down into place. There we go. Pull the spot together, take our second pair of pliers, and do our wraps. Don't drop the pliers. Let's see here. One more. Go. And trim and tuck. Being careful not to break your crystal at the top, and you may need to hold it with your second pair of pliers so that it doesn't slide around on you as you're trying to tuck it in. So there's our first earring done, and now we'll just wrap this one and have both of our earrings done. Up and around, down and here. Got our shape. Put our ear wire in. Snap her into place. Grab her with the pliers. Switch hands in my case. Grab the wire with the other pliers and twist. Wrap, whatever you want to call it. Trim the wire off. And tuck her in place. And there we have earring number 2. So our earrings are now finished. Now to make our necklace. Aren't those pretty? So we'll put these up here so they're not in our way. We don't want to accidentally crunch one of them. And then we're going to get out some wire to make the necklace. So I'm thinking we probably don't need any more than this, and this might actually be more than I need. So let's see how much I've got here, and we will get that cut. I'm thinking the 6 inches is more than enough, so we'll cut that. Okay, this piece of wire, I started with a 6-inch piece and it was too small, so I changed to a 7-inch piece. But I have rewrapped the bottom here, and we're going to put our beads on here now. I also have my 2 little pieces of chain cut that I'm going to use for my dangle. So the first one is this little rondelle, the small crystal spacer. This cream colored rondelle, a bigger crystal spacer. Now this is where we put our first chain on, because the bicone and the crystal spacer will actually push the chain towards the center. I'll show you what I mean when I get this next one on. So you push that in and it pushes the chain to this direction. So that helps to get the little piece on. So then we have another crystal spacer. This big pretty one here with all the matte facets on one side, and then the regular in the middle. This crystal spacer, the bicone, the second piece of chain, the other crystal spacer. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera. The other cream. Uh-oh, there it is. Spacer and the little rondelle. Now that looks like a lot of wire hanging off the side there, and it might be a little more than I need, but it wasn't enough when I was going to do it before. So these will come down like here, and the new piece up over there will be right here with jump rings, with a jump ring holding it in place. So now you can make the decision to have this go this way, and if so, you'll want to bow your wire just a hair's breadth the other direction, or you can have it, of course, going this direction with these upwards. And I'm going to go upwards. So to do that, you take and go down with this loop, and then hold it and go all the way around with the one. And weirdly enough, that is looking like we have an extra oh, probably at least an extra half inch. Yeah, about an extra half inch to 3/4 that we want to have cut off. So we're going to pull this up. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut off this first loop. Now we're going to rewrap. Be very careful that you get it tight since you've got that bow in it from having done it before. And I just did it backwards. Oop. But that's the right amount now, but because I did it backwards, guess what I have to do? I have to twist the wire to get my loops going the opposite direction. So just when you do that, just take hold of it like one on either side and give a twisting motion. And as you can see, now they're going the same direction. But we also don't have quite the bow in here that I wanted, so we'll put a slight bow in there. And there we go with the main part of our necklace. Now we need to put our dangle on. Here. And how we're going to do that is by taking a jump ring, putting it through here and then through here, and letting it drop down right there. So let's get our jump ring out and do that. This tiny jump ring, we're going to open it up. We'll hook it onto both sides of the chain. When you have these tiny jump rings, you have to be careful of how you grab them with the pliers because they don't have a lot of spare room, and you want to be able to get your piece in there around your pliers. Okay, we're falling off. Back on there. Come on, baby, back on there. Okay, now we want our little dangle piece to go on here as well. And now we need to tighten up our pliers, or our jump ring. Now let's see if it's going to work with that little one. Yeah, I think it will. So now the next step is to put on our chain reaction up right here on either side. We're going to hook it right into the chain, or the bar I should say, with a jump ring onto the chain. That's pretty, isn't it? So let's get the chain reaction out, which is, like I said, number 35. We'll open this up. And it always has this, this is 18 inches. We're going to split it right down here in the middle, and we'll take off this extra bead right here because we're not going to need it. So we'll take that off there, and we'll just twist this off of the split ring on this side. So that piece is off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go down here at the bottom. And we're going to take out this little middle piece right here. Now we'll take some little jump rings and we'll hook it right onto the bar on either side here. So I'll get one of these guys out. Now this one's going to be a little trickier because we're going to have to go over that big bar with this, but we know it'll work because we put the other little chain on with it. There we go. And now we have to get this piece right here in place. Now you want to get, there we go. You need to get your as much of a gap there as possible so that you have room in your jump ring to get onto that bar, because there's not a lot of room and you don't want your pliers to be in the way. So there's one side hooked up. I'll get a second jump ring and do the other side. I love these little bar style necklaces. I make them quite a bit because they're really delicate looking. They're simple to make, and a lot of people really like them. Baby, go in. Okie dokie. Now to get this thing tightened up. So here we have this, and now to finish it, all we have to do is put on the clasp on the back here. So the clasp is simply a magnetic clasp, and I've got a couple of slightly bigger jump rings out for it. And it's going to we just open our jump rings up, just like we have been doing. Hook it through the chain end, hook it through one side of your magnet. Your magnet's going to grab your pliers. It is inevitable because it's a very strong little magnet. That's one side done. And there is the other side. There we go. There's our necklace all finished. Little bar necklace with matching earrings. All finished. Hope you enjoyed making those with me. As you can see, even the best of us make slight mistakes in our measurements. I think this bar with this amount of beads should have been 6.5 inches, which means that, let's see how big the bead strand is. It's not quite, it's about 2.5. So you need 2 inches more on either side than the length of your little bit of bar of your bead strand. So that might be one thing you want to check, is to put your bead strand on and then beads on, and then cut 2 extra inches on either side of your wire, or measure them after you get them on and then add 4 inches. But that is what we just discovered for this type of loop. If you were just making a simple little circular loop, you wouldn't need that much. If you were making a wrapped loop, again, you wouldn't need that much, though you would need at least 1 inch, 1.5 inches. more on either side. So there's our pretty little necklace and earrings. And let's turn around and we will look at them again. Okay, here we go. Here's our necklace. Pretty. Just a simple little necklace with a dangle hanging from chain with a magnetic clasp. Will end up about 18 inches because your chain reaction is 18 inches, but we cut a little bit off, but we still have that bar, which of course adds a little extra on at your neckline. So, well, the chain is still 18, ended up being about 18 inches with the clasp and the jump rings. And the bar, of course, like we just measured, is about 3. So, though you can't count on the bar piece for length because across your chest line. So a very simple, very short little necklace. And then of course we have the little matching earrings, which are not very long, but they are very elegant looking. I think they are anyway. So anyway, necklace and earrings using our Mascarpone Mini Mix from Jesse James Beads. And as you can see, there's still a whole bunch of beads in here. We could make a number of other little earrings or another necklace or so with this, or a bracelet even. So yeah, this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and I hope you enjoyed this. Bye-bye.